I am originally from Arkansas. I grew up in Hope, Arkansas, but no, I did not know Bill Clinton because he moved away before I was born. And went to Ouachita Baptist University, which is a small liberal arts college in Arkadelphia, Arkansas, where I majored in religion and journalism. And had interest in, I wanted to be a writer. I also wanted to go into some kind of career in religious studies. People get all mystical when you say you have a sense of calling into a religious vocation. I had no Damascus Road experience. There were no angels. I just felt a strong sense that it was the right thing for me to do, that whatever my talents were, that in the field of religion is where I should go. And then I went to Southwestern Baptist Theological Seminary in Fort Worth, which at the time was one of the largest seminaries in the world. So I went from a small college to a seminary that was bigger than my college, and went from living in a small town setting to Fort Worth, Texas. It was a lot of fun. I took a degree there that's a hybrid degree. I have a Master's of Religious Education, which means someone took a seminary degree and married it to an education degree, because, again, teaching has been an important part of what I've always wanted to do. And while I was there, because of a couple of professors that I had, I decided to go to Baylor University. So I went south to Waco, where I did my PhD in religious studies with a concentration in comparative religion, world religions, and then minors in historical theology and Old Testament, and then I took a minor in philosophy. So that was my journey. Then when I started the application process, you do this, apply to what seems to be 1,000 places, and received something I never had thought about. An agency contacted me to do interfaith work. So, agency based in Atlanta wanted me to do conferences where I would explain to mostly Christian audiences about other world religions in an objective sense, just telling them about who their neighbors were. And I did that for 4 years, and they moved me to Kansas City, where I was based and did primarily things in the Midwest and Southwest. And then after about 4 years there, the agency took a dramatic shift from being a very progressive agency in which they were wanting us to do interfaith work to complete, on the other side, let's evangelize everybody. And it just didn't fit who I was. So I've always thought of my own work as being what Paul says we've been given the ministry of reconciliation. So I've thought of whatever I did as helping people to understand and be reconciled to one another, not to have conflict or divisiveness. And so at that point then, I ended up going as pastor to a Baptist congregation in Kansas City, Missouri, Englewood Baptist Church, which was a progressive Baptist congregation. It had a wide variety of people, from seminary professors to blue-collar workers. It had a multiracial church, had African American and Asian members, LGBTQ friendly, welcoming and affirming church. Quite a diverse congregation. It was very challenging, very interesting. Like all mainline churches, it was experiencing the shrinking of membership, but it was a fun 15 years there. And then simultaneously to that, I did adjunct professing. I was an adjunct professor at several seminaries and at a little Catholic school in Leavenworth, Kansas, which is right down the road from the prison. So I would drive past the prison and then go teach my course, which would have undergraduates and nuns in it. So it was quite an interesting time in Kansas City, and was able to, because it's a very religiously diverse city, meet lots of people from lots of different backgrounds. And so after almost 15 years at my congregation, I began to experience a desire to teach undergraduate, which had always been my intent, and started doing the application process. And one morning I got up and the Chronicle of Higher Education would send out this weekly email of here are openings in your field. And I read one from Pikeville College, and I read the description and said, this is me. This is exactly what I do. This is what they want. They wanted somebody to come here and expand their offerings in world religions, who could also do biblical courses, and a minor in an area like philosophy would be a bonus. And I went, they wrote this job description for me. And I applied and interviewed and ended up moving here in 2004. So I've been through a lot of changes from Pikeville College to University of Pikeville, small campus, big campus. It's been an enjoyable experience. I've reinvented myself several times because students change and the school changes, and that is actually something I enjoy. Well, one of the reasons I came to then Pikeville College, now University of Pikeville, is that I had a great experience in a small liberal arts college, and that's where I wanted to teach. I think there are a lot of values. We all should seek to be well-rounded people and be curious about a wide variety of things. And I've seen life change enough to know that what you think you're going to do when you're 19 may not be what you're doing when you're 40 or 50. And so you need to have all the preparation you can have in all the different areas you can have it in order to be prepared for the world you're in. I think liberal arts colleges provide that, where you're not locked into one narrow frame of reference, and if the thing you're trained for suddenly takes a nosedive or doesn't exist anymore, then you're still prepared to make a shift. In addition to which, the world now is constructed such that we all need the skills that a liberal arts college would want us to have. For example, on religion Twitter, one of the big discussions is now publishers won't publish your book unless you have a following on Twitter. So you have to build a brand, and so that they'll know their book will be promoted. Well, you need to have those skills in order to do that. And liberal arts education provides the soft skills of communication and analysis and so forth that would get you ready for the world today. I've always been permitted to innovate and create. There are a lot of places where you could teach that hand you a list of classes and say, these are the classes you'll be teaching. And in 20 years, you'll still be teaching these classes. And we've had the opportunity here to periodically revamp the religious studies program and add newer, more contemporary courses. Any course that I wanted to develop, the school supported. Any approach to teaching that I wanted to take, the school was supportive. And so I really appreciate the fact that UPIKE allows professors to be entrepreneurial and develop the courses that need to happen for the students we have right now. Yeah, I think UPIKE has an interesting position because we have at our core, we're a liberal arts college, but we also have professional schools, and we have strong schools in business and nursing, medical, optometry, building dental, and the school has taken in recent years a strong career push to make sure that degrees prepare people for careers. So I think to me, that's the biggest strength, is that we're the best of both worlds. That is, you can get the liberal arts component and you can get the career training component. And you can do so in a school that's large enough to have resources, but not so big that you're just a face in a crowd. You'll be able to come here, you'll get a strong liberal arts background, you can be trained for a career. The school has excellent financial aid, a lot of personal attention is given to students, and not just left to sink or swim. Support services are provided. I just think it's a good mix that's hard to find.